This is so funny. What a funny way to fucking present this. OJ Simpson, the former champion football running back turned actor who was acquitted in a sensational trial of charges that he murdered his ex-wife and her friend, died of cancer. His family confirmed. He was 76. We're, of course, going to be talking about that. Here, let's get started. Pack watch. OJ Simpson is dead. To be honest, I don't really give a shit. I know that we do like pack watch for every fucking person that dies who has done like bad shit. It is awful, but like I usually do pack watch for like truly awful people. OJ Simpson was a truly awful person, but I feel like so much time has passed. It's like double homicide. Even if he went to jail, he probably would have been out by now. You know what I mean? Even though he fucking escaped legal scrutiny, I don't really give a fuck. You think OJ is guilty? Oh, absolutely. Okay. Like he's just not high enough. He's not high enough on the ranking for me. As far as like really bad guys, I feel like politicians are way worse. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't mean that he's a good guy. Definitely a bad guy. Definitely did it. It's fucking, I don't know. Would have been true. His shittiness is concentrated, not widespread. OJ has 2 bodies. We do pack watch for people whose body counts in the hundreds of thousands usually. Yeah, exactly. He made up for all of his wrongs with his insane social media posting. No, I think that people do have a truly OJ Simpson is a great example of a couple different American attitudes, even about crime and punishment. I feel like everyone, no matter how draconian they are, do have the capacity to forgive and forget in some respects, as long as the person is interesting and we can make memes about it. Okay? And it's just like, people don't give a shit that he literally, chopped the fucking heads off of his wife and the dude she was fucking. But yeah, we'll get into it a little bit. Obviously, we'll talk about it. I just don't give a shit as far as like, in the grand scheme of things, he basically turned into a meme, despite the fact that he had literally chopped 2 people's heads off. Kind of gross that so many people like it wasn't that bad. No, I think it's because like dude, we cover genocide on a daily fucking basis. Okay. This community is going to have a very warped sensibility on what is a barrier for like really fucked up shit. When I'm doing a pack watch for Henry Kissinger, I feel ridiculous doing it for OJ Simpson in comparison to a motherfucker like Henry Kissinger. You know what I mean? Henry Kissinger's got bodies. Doesn't mean that you can't celebrate it. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? I'm just saying that like I'm more in like who fucking cares type shit.
Some important breaking news right now. OJ Simpson has died at the age of 76.
Maybe it's because I'm ironically too young to care as well. Like I wasn't in America. I didn't give a shit ever.
Has more on his life.
OJ Simpson soared to fame as number 32 for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm sorry for all of it.
And plummeted to infamy as inmate number 1027820 in the Nevada Department of Corrections. In between, Simpson led a life filled with more surreal drama than all of his various film and TV projects combined.
OJ, you come on.
Mass media experts say Simpson's sensational televised low-speed chase.
Bro, all I'll say is this. If OJ did that shit while I was fucking Twitch streaming, those streams would have banged, boys. Crime Watch, then Court Watch. We doubled down on that, dude. I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, damn, I wish we had some OJ type shit right now. You know what I mean? I mean, there is OJ type shit happening all the time. Gruesome murders all around the fucking planet. But like, it's just never as televised. Maybe my content brain is out of control. But it literally is like, that is like an entire generation's Court Watch with Dev V Heard was so fucking bad, man. Yeah, that was the worst though. That wasn't as interesting or as unique or had like a major societal impact in that same vein. You know what I mean? This is the most tailor-made TikTok for you I've ever seen. Oh, we've watched this already. You're right, though. Anyway, let's watch this.
Arrest and murder trial
Doesn't fit, you must acquit.
stand as the first reality show and perhaps the greatest three-ring television phenomenon ever. At one point, the world heard OJ Simpson's ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, say,
I don't want to stay on the line. He's going to beat the shit. Wait a minute.
Then later, Simpson was charged with the horrific murders by knife of Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman.
Ron and Nicole were butchered.
The trial made
Bro, honestly, it's just like OJ Simpson is a pivotal moment because there's like a racialized component to the trial as well, obviously. Famous black man. But I think it was a pivotal moment because it was like, yeah, dude, if you're fucking rich enough, like, this is a turning point. You know what I mean? Like, black people in this country used to get fucking murdered by mobs because women would lie about them. Women would lie about them fucking looking in their direction. You know what I mean? And then and there's still a shit ton, obviously, of racism and white supremacy in this country. But if you have enough money, all of a sudden, you know, you're in a different category in our legal system and you can avoid scrutiny to a certain degree. He was rich enough. He literally was rich enough, dude. He was. He had a insane. Your coverage would have been good, but bro, they went after your entire family over the Megan Thee Stallion trial. It's probably a good thing you didn't cover this law. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I still would have done it. Nah, he aligned with the right people in addition to his money. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. OJ came in the wake of Rodney King, and the King acquittal played a huge role in OJ's acquittal, but the prosecution screwed the pooch. Yeah. The structures of the state amplify the harm so much that stuff like the destruction of Kissinger are truly incomprehensible. I don't think a lot of people truly comprehend that. Like at that, the person is no longer causing harm on an individual scale, but entire societies. Exactly.
lawyers and even witnesses household names.
Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder.
When the jury freed Simpson, celebration erupted in parts of Los Angeles. But Simpson would never recapture his idol status. Simpson first sprinted into the national spotlight as the Heisman Trophy-winning running back at the University of Southern California.
Biomart. Law tip. The OJ trial is constantly referenced in law school when talking about courtroom advocacy, a legendary masterclass in getting motherfuckers off, and how the state's job is mad easy and they're still bad at it, pouring one out today. Yeah, I mean, this dude was dead to rights. It's just so crazy to me that like people still fucking, God, no matter what happens, in any case, you can just always come up with different narratives. It's wild to me.
Yeah. Then 11 spectacular years with the NFL vaulted him to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Simpson cashed in on the popularity.
We'll talk about the Vietnam tycoon as well,
and
yes.
an actor, becoming well known for the Naked Gun movies.
I gotta pee.
OJ Simpson, as you've never seen him before.
Simpson played a lawman on screen and ran into trouble with the courts off screen. He lost the multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit brought by the families of his ex-wife and Ron Goldman, then moved to Florida. In 2000, Simpson was accused of assault in a road rage incident in Miami. He was found not guilty. In 2005, he was found guilty and fined for stealing satellite television. Then in 2007 in Las Vegas, police arrested him on several felony charges, including kidnapping and armed robbery. In that case, Simpson and armed accomplices raided a hotel room in what he called an attempt to just get back some of his stolen belongings.
And I didn't know I was doing anything illegal. I thought I was confronting friends and retrieving my property.
The Nevada jury never bought his story and instead sent him to prison. He was released on parole 9 years later in the dead of night with no fanfare and no bright future. Just the distinction of arguably the greatest rise and fall in pop culture history.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that report. Once again, we're following the breaking news right now. OJ Simpson has died at the age of 76. CNN's Gene Casares covered OJ for several years and is joining us right now. Gene, let's talk a little bit about OJ Simpson. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, there is a tweet that has come out from his family. We do want to read that for everyone. And it says, on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace. The Simpson family. You know, well, there are really two O.J. Simpsons, because one is that football hero that this country adored for so many years. And in Southern California, I think those of us from Southern California.
That's crazy that people still act like it's 1997 or some shit. Like, no, man, people know him as the guy who got away with murder. Ain't nobody's thinking about how good he is at the football. Did you ever watch 30 for 30 made? Wait, no, I haven't. Ooh, M-Hud, is that available? 30 for 30, OJ Made in America?
Hello and welcome to...
Welcome back at the OJ Simpson and the trial of the century. Fun fact, James Cameron wanted to cast him as a Terminator, but didn't think he could play a killer. 30 for 30 OJ story is good. Can we watch it on stream? Because the thing is, like, wow, dude, are you okay? What? I am okay. Why wouldn't I be okay? That 30 for 30 is NSFW. It's amazing, but it's 10 episodes long. You're missing the context. You need to watch OJ Made in America, greatest documentary of all time. Dude, I'll be honest. I don't care about... I don't really care about this shit as much. Like, the OJ stuff, I didn't really ever care about it at all. I mean, I'll learn about it more. I'll learn more the details, like, but everything I've read on it, it's just like, eh. You know what I mean? 30 for 30 is ESPN, which is Disney. Why can OG pirate satellite TV, but we can't watch the documentary? I agree. The court was so messy. Marcia Clark was the only female prosecutor and was asked to talk and dress softer to buy pastel wardrobe so the media would lay off her. It's 8 hours long. That's crazy, bro. All right, let's keep watching.
That we got to know him originally because as a graduate, he graduated from USC, was the Heisman Trophy winner. He was everything to people in Southern California after then going on to the Buffalo Bills and also the San Francisco 49ers. But when I really started talking with him personally myself was at that Las Vegas trial. I was the correspondent for his Las Vegas trial. It was kidnapping. It was armed robbery. I think people thought of it sort of as a funny thing, a joke, but the courts in Nevada thought of it as very serious.
Bro, I don't get it. You're such an L person. Yeah. Get us on, dig out of your mouth. No, you're the W mans, bro. You're the W mans for coming in here and fucking trying to start fights with people in this community. Yeah.
Because the potential was decades in prison, but every day I would go
Everybody
to the
thinks
courthouse,
you're cool, bro.
and he was there. He was on bail, so he would just be in the hallway. He would be in the gallery. He'd be talking to people. Once he found out that I was from Southern California.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. She seems like she's glazing OJ a little bit right now. Not even a little bit, a lot bit. Fuck's going on here? It's like, yeah, he was great. He was so great. He was the best. He was the best. He was so good at getting away with it, okay?
And I was a USC graduate. He wanted to talk to me all the time because his passion was football. His passion was USC. He loved it, and he wasn't nervous about it.
Bro, he has some other passions too, man. What the fuck? Yo! He has some other passions too, perhaps more prescient ones. Perhaps some more important passions. Yo, how did they find this woman? She's like, I'm in deep mourning today as a wonderful football player for the USC passes away alongside his friends and family. Don't look at anything else he might have done.
What was happening at that trial, although the evidence was not good against him, and he was ultimately convicted on all counts, and all of his cronies, it was all his golfing buddies, and they...
If you watch the docu, you'd get it. I don't think you understand the context. Why people loved OJ so much. He was like the biggest black celebrity. Wait. Yeah, I guess maybe that's the reason. Do you think he did it? Yes. There are so many fucking OJ Simpson documentaries. He also didn't do it. Also, he wrote the book with this title. Yeah. Dude, this is, you don't understand. This is obviously, bro, this is definitely the type of person who didn't do it, okay? He was the first big anti-black celebrity. I don't think he was the first anti-black celebrity. I think you mean he was the first big black anti-black celebrity. Like, I think that's what you meant, because there was definitely a lot of big celebrities that were super racist before OJ Simpson. Anyway, I didn't do it, and you can find out more about how I didn't do it in my new book, If I Did It. That, yeah, I did it. Have you never heard the I'm not black emoji line? No, I have. I have heard that line. The Goldman family has rights to publish this, I think, and so that's why the book cover looks like this. Not a big OJ fan, but it's going to be wild watching Rittenhouse defenders get mad over any remotely positive OJ coverage this week. Oh, yeah, that's true. Rittenhouse defenders love the courts because they allowed Rittenhouse to walk free, but they hate the courts probably because they let a black man off on murdering a white woman, mind you. So, like, because those guys are oftentimes operating on, on just white supremacist principles, that's like a really interesting situation. This short Family Guy clip about OJ verdict is actually pretty good. He joked about stabbing the journalists on camera. You have to see it. Yeah, okay, listen. Are you out? Peace, bro. Oh, is my cousin still here? Are they in the house? Okay, I'm just gonna let Kaya roam if they are. If they're not, I'm gonna bring her in here. Actually, you know what? Kaya, come here. Place. Good girl. So many fucking OJ links in the chat. All right, let's finish this and then we'll watch one documentary.
What had been his personal property, but it was owned by someone else at the time. Unfortunately, some of them had a couple of guns, and so it became an armed robbery situation. But he just...
Bro, this is a glaze fest. I've never seen somebody glaze this hard, bro. This is some Krispy Kreme ass glazing.
Took it in his stride, but he was very nice to everybody, very humble to everyone, and everyone knew what he'd been through in California.
Bro, are you allowed to blow bubbles on it at CNN? Even Wolf is looking at her like, this is a little bit much, don't you think? Bro, she is fucking awesome. She is blowing bubbles on it. Oh my God, dude. I heard people in the chat were saying he was the OG Rizzler. Like he was, you know, out of control with his Riz. But this goes beyond. I think he fucked her, bro. There's no way. What the hell? What the hell? She is going crazy, dude.
And all the questions that remained about the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and also Ron Goldman. But he was convicted on all counts. He was sentenced to 33 years in prison over 3 decades. He served it out in Lovelock, Nevada, which is a central outside of Reno, Nevada. And he served 9 years and he was released. And I was there when he was released
Okay, bro, oh my God. Yeah, I was there when he was offering conjugal visits where I went and I glazed him up like a Krispy Kreme donut in a way that is not dissimilar to how I'm glazing him up right now. Okay. I was doing exactly what I've been doing this entire hour, but physically in person while he was in prison.
The correspondent for the network. And it was a very subdued thing, but he stayed in Las Vegas.
I was smuggle Marlboro Reds into the prison by shoving it in my butthole and then popping them out at the conjugal visit so he could sell those cigarettes. Okay. These are the things I did for him. It was pretty sick.
Vegas. The next day, we heard he was golfing once again at home in Las Vegas, and that's where we believe he stayed for the remainder of his life. But there were definitely 2 OJ Simpsons, and now secrets are possibly gone forever because the murder of Nicole Brown, Nicole Brown, and Ron Goldman.
Yeah, bro, she doesn't even care about the victims, dude. That's awesome. She's just like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Just a footnote in OJ's wonderful life. Let me tell you how nice this guy is for literally fucking 5 minutes. And she's like, yeah, the victims, who cares? Old news. Nobody cares about that. She talked about how he went to prison. He got sentenced for 3 decades. And made it seem as though that was like a much larger injustice than anything else.
We may never know the real truth. The jury acquitted him in 30 minutes. We know that. So he was acquitted. But what really happened to the lives of those 2 people may forever become a secret.
Dean, I want you to stay with us. I also want to bring in our CNN contributor, Bob Costas, who's joining us right now. Bob, what's your reaction?
He's just like so, like, he does have like murderer vibes too. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's just some that always made me uneasy about the vibes that he puts out there. It was always weird. I don't know.
To the death of OJ Simpson, how do you think he will be remembered? And talk a little bit about the tremendous cultural impact he had as a player in the NFL, an actor, and as a criminal defender.
Well, as great as he was as a player, and it's not enough to say he was a Hall of Fame quality player, he was one of the handful of greatest running backs in the history of college football and then the NFL. And he also had a quality that's difficult to define. And
2,000 rushing yards in a 14-game season. Yeah, I don't care about football, man. Yeah. OJ Simpson says he'll go crazy if all the golf courses are closed. How crazy we talking? 617,000 likes. 98,000 retweets. God damn, that was a banger. If you watch the reporter clip, all your assumptions will be justified. Yeah, here. This is the clip that y'all want me to watch. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? Where the freak is the clip? Shut that off. Don't care about that. Oh, here it is. Always thought it'd be absolutely the funniest thing if he actually didn't do it and just had the worst vibes of anyone on the planet.
If you promise that you will not ask me another question
I
about
will never
the case.
ask you again.
We won't have to talk about it anymore.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't. Nope. Did not do it.
After we finished filming.
Bro, come on, bro, come on, bro. That's it. Keep going. No, I'm already locked in at that point. I don't even need to see more. Keep watching, I will. But let me tell you, that's all I needed to see.
OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised. I think it was his idea of a joke, and this is it.
If you promise.
Yo! Yeah! Oh! I've never seen that before. No, man. That's crazy. He really is not black, but OJ. I'm sorry. That's like, dude. We're talking about like a more racist time in American history. Like, it's not like we solved racism now. You know what I mean? Think about how much more racist it was in the fucking 90s. And this dude is doing this to a white woman on television? Are you out of... There's no way, bro. It's just like... To be fair, it was funny, just not the way he thought. It's just like... This is crazy, man.
This is his idea of a joke.
We got to run it again.
And this is it.
If you
yeah, I got nothing. I'm going to be honest with you. I got nothing, dude. I have nothing for that. I started making weird noises because I have nothing to say. I have nothing to add on to that hasn't been told by that perfect clip. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Wow. One of the three alternative theories: the son, OJ, and Al did the murders together, or the Yakuza, whom the Jews owed money to. Why would the Yakuza fucking take care of a problem for OJ? Why would they help him out, dude? Oh my God. I genuinely don't know what else to say today. I think I'm packing it up. That's it for me today, boys. Okay. That's just fuck it, dude. Like, that's so insane. That's so insane. Okay.
Statistics alone don't capture it. He was wonderful to watch, and he was always gracious with the press. He was outgoing. He was not just admired.
Bro, now they got Bob Costas glazing him. What is happening? Dude, why is everybody glazing this guy?
But beloved. And then to your point about being a cultural force, this is all prior to the murders, he was, if not the first, he was the first to do it in a big way. An African-American athlete who broke through. He used to say, I may have the quote incorrect, I'm not black, I'm not white, I'm OJ. And part of that was almost exemplified by a little stereotypical blue-haired lady saying, "Go, OJ, go," as he ran through the airport in the rent-a-car commercials. And there were zillions of other commercials. And as Jean outlined in her piece, or as the piece that preceded Jean coming on outlined,
I feel like there's something weird about news media where this is like training, you know what I mean? They're training for when like Dick Cheney dies, you know what I mean? Seriously. Like, they're so on automatic mode when it comes to fucking glazing up someone who did a murder. Like, they're so good at glazing up dudes who've done wrong, dude. I swear to God. People always talk about like, oh, this is an Illuminati humiliation ritual or whatever. No, dude, the real ritual is just like, do a bad thing. Be famous, do a bad thing. The media will glaze you when you die. Okay? That's it. Like, do a bad thing, be super famous. Before you do the bad thing, the media will glaze you when you die. In memoriam. I swear to God. It's like they have to do it. They have to do it. If OJ had not done it, okay, and spent the rest of his life doing activism, they would not glaze him like this. Okay? They just have one mode. They just openly are just like, oh yeah, have you done fucking murders, gruesome murders, horrific murders, and then got away with it, and also we're pretty fucking famous? Guess what, dude? Turns out we will do a in memoriam. And it's so odd. Anyway.
Naked Gun movies were countless television appearances. The movie stars, everything about him, people feel it, more or less. There were pockets of black community, and I remember Brown, and I thought about this. He didn't dislike OJ, but he had past.
Bob Costas' phone is dying right now because he's calling in from a motherfucking landline, old ass.
Racial issues, so there was that. But by and large, it was one of the most popular, not just athletes, one of the most popular people in the United States. I didn't know him well when he was playing football, predated my time at NBC. Then eventually, we wound up being colleagues for 4 or 5 years on pre- and post-game shows around NFL football on NBC. And he was a hail fellow, kind of guy. Remember the name of the kid who brought coffee when you first got on the set? To everybody, willing to show up at charity events, good company at dinner or on the golf course, all those things. And everything changed in June of 1994. And regardless of what he did that in his life, the first thing will come to mind most people. What happened subsequently, the murder themselves, the low-speed chase was covered.
Dude, what the fuck? I can't believe CNN posted this. It's crazy. This shit sucks, bro. Anyway, let's watch the CNN OJ case. Viewer discretion is advised.
Simpson on trial for 2 grisly murders.
He killed her because he couldn't have her.
After 9 months of riveting twists and turns.
How about that, Mr. Fung?
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The one moment.
We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of the crime of murder.
I think these people have to do this because they only have one black friend. Wait, what? I mean, dude, I don't think our generation has strong opinions on this. They don't give a fuck at all. What do you mean? That's a weird take. Like, at most, it's like, yeah, he did it, but you know, we get one. Is the meme usually? I don't think nowadays people give a shit at all. Most people under the age of 35, or let's say 30. It seems like most people under the age of 30 just know him as like a guy who probably definitely did it, and they don't really care, which is understandable. I mean, we fucking meme about 9/11, you know what I mean? You clearly don't understand American millennials. We have OG to blame for giving us the Kardashians too. Yeah. Hasan, I do not know why this happened, but in 4th grade, the teacher rolled the AV TV to broadcast the Simpson trial verdict to us live in class. That's so awesome. God, I love America so fucking much, dude. Man, I love America so much. It's crazy. That is such a crazy thing to do. That's so sick. Oh, I swear to God, it's the best goddamn country on the planet. It is so brain broken. It is so nutty, and I fucking love it. The principal announced it over the intercom at my elementary school. What the fuck? What the fuck?
That mattered most. Now, more than 20 years later, go behind the scenes.
You said you had your killer. Why did he walk free?
Inside the jury room and outside the courtroom for reaction.
People said either he's as guilty and terrible as could be, or he's an innocent victim of racism. There was no...
the Dersh! The Dersh! Yeah, remember, he's mourning today. Dude, a lot of Dersh's clients keep dying, dude. He's sad. He's a sad boy. Oh, before we go on, here is ESPN. In the immediate announcement, they bring in Jeremy Schaap, who offered his reflection on OJ Simpson's death. Here's what he had to say.
And I was there in Chicago at the O'Hare Plaza Hotel, which is where he had stayed when this was going on. And I believe it was Detective Sergeant Burt Looper who was running the investigation at that point in Chicago. And I remember being with Lester Munson of Sports Illustrated, standing in the fields around the O'Hare Plaza Hotel as the police were searching for the murder weapon. And what that moment was like, that O.J. Simpson, in a moment, had gone from being this hero, and he was a hero, to a murder suspect. It was unlike anything else, that I've experienced in my lifetime, that America has witnessed really in the last half century. And I think we have to keep in perspective here, yes, he was acquitted, but anyone who has seriously looked at the evidence, anyone who saw Ezra Edelman's, brilliant film for ESPN about O.J. Simpson would have to come to the conclusion that he was a murderer. And so am I filled with...
I was in 10th grade when the verdict happened, and as a black teenager, I and most black people were happy like we just won the lottery. Yeah, I think like a big part of it is unironically the juxtaposition between like a black dude who definitely did it versus this happening in the same era as Rodney King, with all of the additional LAPD white supremacist misconduct that played a role in the court case. It led to a lot of people thinking like, all right, we got one. You know what I mean? That's it. It was LAPD racism and Rodney King blowback. But it's not just like, just to simply say it's Rodney King blowback is missing the forest for the trees, because like the LAPD still operates in a white supremacist capacity. It's not like they changed their fucking attitude. And it certainly was even worse back then. So like, yeah, there's a lot more eyeballs on this, and they still fucked it up to a certain degree. So like, it's still, in my opinion, in the hands of the LAPD for how he got to walk free, basically.
With sorrow today, I'm not.
Yeah, and I think everyone has, different feelings about the situation here.
That's literally not missing the forest for the trees, though, because the jurors literally admitted to finding OJ not guilty as retribution for Rodney King. Yeah, I saw that in the chat. My point is, where is it? A juror admitted it.
Do you think that they're members of the jury that voted to acquit OJ because of Rodney King?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How many of you think felt that way?
Oh, probably 90% of us.
90%? Did you feel that way?
Yes.
That was payback.
Uh-huh.
You think that's right? Do you think that they're members of the jury?
I'm talking about the broader snapshot, not like the opinions of the individual jurors. From a legal standpoint, the cop was proven to be racist liar and cast reasonable doubt on the whole case. It wasn't one specific thing, but a multitude of things that led to his acquittal. Yes, I will still maintain the position that like the largest reason for it was having a fucking banger legal team. If you have an all-star defense attorney squad who is just the very best of the very best, okay? Like the whole, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit meta is so ridiculous. It has become like something that people remember almost fondly, I would say. And it's such a ridiculous fucking way. It's like it literally is a bloody, crusted over glove. Of course, not gonna fucking fit. It's crazy. I'm just saying, it's like when you got that level of money and you got that kind of riz, you got that kind of power, and you can fucking bring in, look, here it is. Glove won't fit. You must acquit. It would fit if it was his. Bro, come on. Are you serious? What do you mean? He has literally latex gloves underneath it when he's trying these fucking gloves on. Are you crazy?
Was there a model or style of glove that you shipped to Bloomingdale's exclusively?
Yes.
Ms. Vimage, who are you employed by?
Bloomingdale's.
Let me show you the glove that has been marked. Item number 9, the Rockingham glove. And this glove is exclusive to Bloomingdale's?
Those gloves brave the elements, covered in fucking blood, okay? And on top of that, he's wearing them with fucking latex gloves underneath it.
Yes.
Okay. Looking at that glove, can you tell us the name or the style?
The right hand of style 70263.
And what style number was that?
70263.
Which glove?
Eris Leatherlight glove.
Because the victims were white? Wait, what do you mean? Payback? What an interviewer. Damn, probably more justice than payback. What the fuck? I feel like definitely more payback to who, haha, white people because the victims were white. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Chatter, how are you going to fucking get mad on behalf of white people right now in 2024? Okay, don't worry. White people have gotten revenge a million times over for OJ Simpson, okay? Jesus Christ, dude. Sorry, but your glove knowledge is lacking.
During 1990, how many Eris isotoner leather light gloves, brown in color, size extra large, did Bloomingdale's purchase?
Approximately 300.
Have you ever seen it sold anywhere in the world other than in Bloomingdale's?
No, I have not.
Is that a Bloomingdale's credit card sales receipt?
Yes.
So the gloves I showed you in court today then...
Why the fuck are you even talking about this? You're this bored? Bro, I swear to God, some people need to be fucking put in a cell with OJ when he was alive, okay? And fuck his wife. Y'all are so fucking annoying, dude. Seriously. Like, this is a historic moment. Like, what do you mean?
And fit the descriptions given on the sales receipt?
Yes.
And is there a signature on the credit card receipt?
Yes.
Can you read that signature to us?
Nicole Brown.
Yeah, furthermore, the prosecution also fucked up the glove. They kept taking it in and out of evidentiary freezer storage for the trial, for the right day of trial, constantly freezing and unfreezing leather shrinks it. The glove shrank and compounded with the latex underneath it, of course, wouldn't fit. Yeah. The real question is, did they know that it would not fit at that moment? People say that, oh, he stopped taking arthritis medication so his hands would fucking get larger. I don't know if they got lucky. I don't know if they got lucky or if it was a fucking major fumble and they just like ran with it.
At this time, the people would ask that Mr. Simpson step forward and try on the glove recovered at Bundy as well as the glove recovered at Rockingham.
And I think so the jury can see. I'll ask Mr. Simpson to stand. That's people 77. All right.
Having a problem placing the glove on his hand.
Sustained. This is people's.
It was a major fumble. Any defense attorney worth their salt would move to exclude that evidence because it was unconstitutionally obtained by Detective Furman, who entered Simpson's residence and found the glove without a warrant, but they didn't object. They knew it wouldn't fit.
164A, is that the right hand glove? All right.
Stop hamming it up, motherfucker. We know it fits.
All right. Thank you, counsel.
Major L for the prosecution. God damn, dude. Just, dude, if it were me, if I was on the prosecutorial team, let me tell you, I would just been like, look at this dude's vibes. Your Honor, esteemed members of the jury, look at my man's vibes right now. Okay? Look at my man's vibes, bro. Now, of course, obviously that would have put me in line with white supremacy, so I would not do that. As I'm a swagged out white boy, okay? I wouldn't do it like that, but I'm just saying. Your Honor, look at his fucking vibes, though. They are so fucked. Just saying.
The OJ verdict. Shock of the century.
Big homie Johnny Cochran would have rolled you with bars.
It's minutes after midnight. June 13th, 1994.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that big of a stretch, by the way, that like a dude who was... Okay. Listen. It's not like football players are never caught beating the shit out of their wives now, okay? I mean, was it the Dave Chappelle joke, which is like, he's just doing football. Like, this is what he's been taught to do, and he's just doing more football at home. Okay? It's just like, and we knew he was doing it already. Maybe he did a little too much football. There are, he just did too much football where he's not supposed to be doing football. Or, it was Bill Burr. It wasn't Dave Chappelle.
Los Angeles police arrived to a crime scene at Bundy Drive in upscale Brentwood. They find no witnesses, no murder weapon.
I lived in this neighborhood, by the way. It was crazy.
Slashed, stabbed, everything else. Nicole was nearly decapitated. It was very bloody.
It's censored.
Nicole is Nicole Brown Simpson. Lying dead beside her, 25-year-old Ron Goldman. The prime suspect, Nicole's ex-husband, football legend, OJ Simpson.
I literally lived down the fucking street from this house. Straight up. Upscale neighborhood? No, they had... Oh my God, chat. You think I was rich when I lived in fucking Brentwood? What are you, stupid? No, man. There's fucking apartment complexes for the broke boys where you can, live La Vida Loca with like 3 other roommates, dummies. LeBron lived in Brentwood too, in very different living circumstances than me at the time.
Simpson promises to surrender and then disappears.
The Los Angeles Police Department right now is actively
searching for Mr. Simpson.
No, Brentwood is
Yes,
beautiful and it is very fancy. Your first apartment still looked good though. No, it didn't. You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. The fuck do you mean? You've seen my shitty ass apartments that I lived in? No, you're thinking of the West Hollywood one. That was the first time I lived in like a nice apartment. Was in WeHo.
Press room. Only a sign of what is yet to come.
I also had 3 roommates on top of, where I was living.
The famous low-speed chase, covered live for hours, rivets the nation.
Will we ever be free
And
from the
ends with
Champagne
Simpson's
Socialist discourse?
eventual
No.
surrender at his home on Rockingham Avenue.
Here's what we know right now, Lieutenant Duncan.
It was just the beginning.
This was the perfect soap opera. The OJ Simpson murder case was the first true reality show for the country.
Okay, let's go. Here we go.
This was the first wall-to-wall televised trial.
July 22nd, 1994, a month after the murders, the legal proceedings against O.J. Simpson begin when he enters this defiant plea.
Absolutely 100% not guilty.
And to help him prove that, Simpson assembles a legal dream team.
Each one of them was famous.
Jeffrey Toobin covered the trial for The New Yorker.
Oh, dude, it's Tuggin Toobin, the OG Gooner. Let's go, my boy, dude. Hey, speaking of doing football where you're not supposed to be doing football, here's a guy who is literally the top dog of gooning, okay? Doing gooning where he's not supposed to be in a fucking Zoom session. He will live in infamy forever. My goat, dude. Jeffrey Toobin, more like Jeffrey Goonin.
There has never been in American history more prominent defense lawyers on a single trial than in the O.J. Simpson case.
There's Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz.
An ideal intermediary between the ivory tower and the gritty world of trial practice.
Famed criminal attorney F. Lee Bailey.
The person you go to when you are really in a lot of trouble and can afford it.
And of course, Johnny Cochran, who would take the lead.
Flamboyant, outgoing, approachable, fun, and extremely charismatic, while also having considerable mastery of the details of the case.
And known for defending celebrities like child actor Todd Bridges, football legend Jim Brown, and superstar Michael Jackson. But would the all-star strategy work?
The OJ Dream Team was not a dream team. It was a nightmare team. Most of the lawyers didn't get along with each other. There was a lot of competition for the limelight.
But despite all that competition, consensus does emerge. The key defense strategy? Racism.
This is not just any city where an allegation of a racist cop is being made. This is the LAPD.
And Simpson's attorneys know they can strike a chord. With secret knowledge of scathing recordings about to surface, they seek permission to ask LAPD detective Mark Furman if he's ever used the N-word.
And I'll use the word because I'm quoting him, all the niggers, put them together in a big group and burn them.
Yeah, bro. Average LAPD cop. Dude. I mean, seriously. Average LAPD police officer, bro. Least racist. Bro, he said that, and then they were like, all right, you're a detective now. He was a beat cop the day before. And they were like, well, we got to fucking promote this guy. He's saying it with such stank on it. You know what I mean? He's saying it with such zeal. You know, we gotta make him commissioner one day. You know what I mean? The hardest of ours. This man is cooking. Oh my God. Got a promotion for their creativity. Why can the defense say it but not him? Double standard much? Oh, Jesus. Imagine being such a racist police department. Even the fucking 90s news media was calling you out. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. To be fair, Your Honor, many of you might not know this, but we had to make him say it. He was rapping, okay? This was a part of the test at the police academy. He had to say it, so we know he was a real one. Your Honor, my client is not on trial here. OJ Simpson is. Let's remember that, okay?
But prosecutor Chris Darden wants no part of it.
It is the filthiest, dirtiest, nastiest word in the English language. It will upset the black jurors. It'll issue a test, it'll give them a test, and the test will be, whose side are you on? The side of the white prosecutors and the white policemen? Or are you on the side of the black defendant and his very prominent and capable black lawyer? And so
Cochran immediately fires back.
Not every African American feels that way. It's demeaning to our jurors to say that African Americans cannot hear these offensive words.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That they were just like, they had this fucking straight up neo-Nazi in the police force, alongside many others, mind you. Okay, and they're like, please, please, we can't have him be known as a racist, dude. Well, how about you fucking don't hire racists? This is part of the reason why I think Mark Lamont Hill was saying what he said about like this and many other aspects of the LAPD at the time led to there being enough reasonable doubt. You know, it was the only way he was going to be accepted into our white supremacist police gang. It is simply a part of the process. He didn't mean it. He was rapping along. Your Honor, my client doesn't want to serve the top of the hour ad break. He is contractually obligated to, okay? And he always tells everyone that if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free, Your Honor. You can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime, Your Honor. If the top of the hour does not fit in your budget, you must acquit. Okay? Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Battle lines are drawn, and race will now determine this trial's outcome. January 24th, 1995, the trial of Orenthal James Simpson gets underway.
There was a forest of satellite trucks, satellite dishes, people working in trailers, all built so that this trial could go out to the world.
Walking into the courtroom every day, it was like the red carpet on an arrivals line or at the Oscars. How are you feeling today? Marsha, how you doing? How are your kids? What are you wearing? It's ridiculous. It was crazy.
Outside the courthouse, it's a circus. Inside, a real-life drama unfolding, with millions of people watching.
The Simpson case combined everything that obsesses the American public. It had violence, sex, race, sports, and the only eyewitness was a dog. Thank you.
And the prosecution had it all, opening with a story of love, lust, and loss of control.
I don't even think OJ thought he could get away with it while he was doing it. It seems like a fucking momentary lapse of judgment. You know what I mean? A crime of passion, if you will, obviously. And he must have been fucking, he must have been like, damn, dude, this shit, these guys are awesome.
Killed her because he couldn't have her.
That trail of blood from Bundy
through his own Ford Bronco and into his house in Rockingham is devastating proof of his guilt.
What those records show.
But Johnny Cochran opens with a very different story.
The evidence will show that the careless, slipshod, negligent collection, handling, and processing of samples by basically poorly trained personnel from LAPD has contaminated, compromised, and corrupted the DNA evidence in this case.
Coming up, behind the scenes.
It's the first time I've ever really seen a Heisman Trophy.
And in court with a juror.
How did Mark Furman play a part in your decision when it came down to the verdict?
This is how we knew OJ Simpson, football icon, celebrity pitchman.
Nobody does it better than her.
And movie star. But prosecutors say that dashing public persona hides a much darker truth, that Simpson is a violent man who beat his wife.
Please be seated.
And it didn't take long before a police detective testifies about such an incident in 1989.
A woman came running out of the bushes to my left, crossed the driveway. She was a female Caucasian, blonde hair. She was wearing a bra only as an upper garment, and she had on dark, lightweight sweatpants and started yelling, "He's going to kill me, he's going to kill me."
Then jurors hear it for themselves. Another chilling 911 call from Simpson's wife in 1993.
My husband just broke into my house and he's ranting and raving.
Less than a year before her murder.
We broke the back door down to get in.
Okay, wait a minute. What's your name?
Nicole Simpson.
Okay, is he the sportscaster or whatever?
Yeah.
What is he doing? Is he threatening you?
Oh, hell yeah. The most Zoomer take. I love you, chatter. This is, dude. The most Zoomer take. Yes. Bro, he decapitated her and also beat her like a bunch of times. Yes. That's my favorite. Zoomers always arriving at the most important part of the story. Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick. Oh, this goes back to like, this basically is the same meta as like Margarine Titan Green talking about abortion being murder, but like saying that abortion is cancel culture because cancel culture is more important to the conservative discourse at the time than murder itself. Like, it's worse than murder. A crime worse than murder is cancel culture. And it's just like, a crime worse than any other crime is the fucking insane age gap. Don't belittle that detail. It's the very foundation of their abuse. Come on. Oh my God. I'm so serious too. I know you are. I love you for that. Zoomers straight up think, oh, yeah, it's not also a big age gap. Is that she's a minor. I get it. Guys, I don't think it was okay for a 38-year-old man to be dating a 17-year-old woman, okay? A 17-year-old girl. I don't think that that's okay at all. I just think it's funny to bring it up in this conversation. This is not a defense of it. Oh my God. Bro, he killed her, chatters. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, that's so funny. Your community is kind of cringe, big dog. No, my community is fucking awesome. Okay? I know. Cutie is texting the group chat. I cannot believe they did this. This is typical fucking groomer shit. They're so goddamn annoying sometimes. Unless you fucking talk to groomers groomers are like Turkish barbers. I swear to God, they love shaving your goddamn dog. Okay? It's so annoying. Yeah, I mean, he's really cute, luckily, still, but lol, I love it. Fuck your designer dogs. Wait, what? Designer dogs? I don't think this is a designer dog, brother. And even if it is, like, I'm pretty sure Cutie adopted him. Like, and he's all kinds of fucked up too. What is wrong with you, 40-month subscriber? What do you mean, bro? Also, it fucks up the dog. Are you okay? Like, it still fucks up the dog. Is the dog chatters like the Northern Lion clip? We should kill him. Yeah, what the hell? Your dog is artificially selected. Relax, bro. My dog is artificially selected? What do you mean artificially selected? What does this even mean? Guys, even if someone literally purchased the dog specifically, okay? Even if someone was like, I'm going to go out of my way to purchase a dog, okay? Like purchase a dog from a breeder that was like that was literally fucking genetically designed to look a certain way or some shit. Don't you care about the dog? Kaya is a synth. Don't let the Brotherhood of Steel find out. Yeah. This happened right after you said this community is so awesome. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you can't shave dogs with double coats like this. Kaya has double coat as well. You can't shave them. If you shave them, they might never grow their second coat back. And it's very important for temperature regulation. Y'all are so wrong for this. The fact that the groomer did this is really fucked up. It's like those freaks would say we should kill all pugs. Actually weird. Anyway. I thought it was just a looks thing. Didn't know about the health thing. How does it fuck up the dog? What do you mean, bro? You can't fucking... Double-coated dogs can't grow their second coat usually. Like, that hair just has to stay on forever. You can't fucking actually shave their coat. If you shave their coat, they won't ever be able to grow their second coat. And it helps regulate, like, to a certain degree, regulate their body temperature. This is, by the way, this straight up. That's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You only do this as this is like literally an emergency move that you do if they have like hella matting in their hair. If their hairs are really, really matted up and it's causing them to get like skin issues, bleeding, scabbing, only then are you supposed to fucking shave. You're only supposed to shave for emergencies like a surgery, or shave it if it's like literally the last thing you can do. There's so many chatters who love the shit out of Kaya but should never ever own another living animal. No, I agree. Is Kaya Cook then? I feel like she used to be fluffier. No, she was fluffier. And I don't know if she like shed all of it as a consequence of, I don't know if she shed all of her extra coat as a consequence of her, for her hormonal imbalances, or if it shed permanently and it's never going to come back. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. She seems to be fine. Yeah, the outer coat or guard hair consists of longer hair that gives the dog their color. Dogs do not shed the outer coat as much. But to be fair, Kaya is very young still, so I don't know. It could be seasonal too. It's not that it won't ever grow. It's just that the layer below grows much slower than the rest. It may take upwards to a year. You can't own a living being. That's awesome. Thank you for your take, chatter. The extreme vegans have logged in. Yes, you're right. We should kill all domesticated pets. A much worthier cause, in my opinion. I love fucking idiotic anarchists, dude. It's awesome. Don't cohabitate spaces with animals. Let them roam free. It's so sick. If it's not only body temperature, but also protects them from like ticks, other bugs, ticks, sunburn, depending on the breed. Yeah. Let all the house cats free. Let's do a bird genocide. The case against pet ownership. Yeah, dude, we should all just fucking kiss ourselves. You know what I mean? It's so dumb. Fuck these people. My 2 cats would die without me. They're so fucking stupid, and you expect them to live outside on their own? My dog is terrified of the outside. Please don't make her live out there. Yeah. My dog literally lives a better life than like 99% of humans on this fucking planet. My dog lives a better life than me. Okay? She has a better life than me. All she does is fucking play, run around, eat food, eat fucking Icelandic ram's horn every goddamn day. Okay? And sleep. She is constantly in the vicinity of the person that she loves the most on this planet. We are very rarely ever separated from one another. And you motherfuckers are like, yeah, no, I would hate if she is living in an unjustifiable hierarchy. Also, people own animals for utility, safety, emotional companionship, etc. After thousands of years of domestication, we need each other law. Exactly. Dogs, in the way that we understand it, dogs as a fucking breed, through thousands of years of domestication, have basically been designed for this specific purpose. We are far too late to the conversation to be talking about like, what should we do about the ethics of domestication in general. Feels like debating for the sake of debating, taking such an extreme perspective on domestication is a symbiotic relationship. Exactly. People in the third world cannot afford to not have animals. Wait, what? I mean, okay. Most dogs, if they cannot do the job they are bred for, are miserable. Yes. Except you have to also understand, like, she has like guard dog breeds in her. Okay, she's mixed. Except it doesn't matter because I get her energy out all day, every day, and she's very happy. This is a work dog. This is specifically a very large dog and a work dog as well. And a family could not take care of her for those reasons. I can. I have a yard. I have a lot of time that I can make sure that, you know, she has enough space. She's always in a cool environment in a place like Los Angeles, especially. Work dog as she's shooing away. No, actually, I think she would normally be, you know, out in the fucking pasture, roaming at night and sleeping in the day. Yeah, guard dogs do sleep during the day. Do you groom your dog? I do. And I always, even though it's the same groomer, even though it is the same groomer every time, I still tell them every fucking time, can I be your dog? No. Anyway, let's get back to OJ Simpson, though.
Going nuts.
And I was like, wow, he can be pretty bad.
Now, more than 20 years later, juror number 4, David Aldana, remembers that moment vividly.
So that 911 tape made an impact.
Yeah, it did, because when you hear somebody pounding on the door like that and hearing Nicole say, I think you know his record by now.
I do. Nicole's sister, Denise, tells prosecutors she has seen Simpson beat Nicole in person.
He grabbed Nicole, told her to get out of his house, wanted us all out of his house. Picked her up, threw her against a wall. Picked her up, threw her out of the house.
However, defense attorney Robert Shapiro counters with a completely different image of O.J. Simpson. Here he is with the Brown family just hours before Nicole's murder.
We played for the jury the June 12th videotape where you saw O.J. Simpson at 6:30 in the evening of June 12th. And you saw him. He was kissing the Brown family. He was shaking hands with Lou Brown. He picked his son up. He didn't look like a man who was dour and bitter and raging.
So is Simpson a warm family man or a violent attacker who cornered and killed 2 innocent people? The jurors and Simpson take a field trip to his house and the crime scene.
I think that this really assisted the jury in being able to understand the evidence better, the testimony better, and how the victims were essentially cornered.
What do you remember the most about visiting OJ's house, actually going?
Yeah, he's a family guy, bro. I don't understand. What do you mean? Yeah, pay no attention to like the many instances of him abusing the shit out of his wife. You know what I mean? He's a family guy. Come on. Yeah, it's just
going to the crime scene.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's the first time I've ever really seen a Heisman Trophy. We couldn't ask questions. Nothing was told to us. Don't talk amongst yourselves and don't touch anything.
And it's this home visit that leads to the...
Do you think she would have been as vulnerable if she hadn't been dating a teenager, dating a prominent, powerful celebrity? I'm gonna fucking... dude, I wish I was living in Brentwood so OJ would have taken me out on the way home, okay? Bruh, drop it, okay? That's not the most that's not the most important part of this, okay? It's the domestic abuse. It's the murder. What the fuck? It is ridiculous, okay? Zoomers, you are so fucking brain broken. Oh my God. What the fuck? That's crazy.
The very heart of the prosecution's case, the physical evidence against OJ Simpson.
They have
Can
to be
you please
baiting?
describe,
Yeah.
the appearance of the glove, sir?
It appeared dark leather glove. It appeared to be somewhat moist or sticky. I didn't touch it, but it appeared that parts were sticking to other parts of the glove.
We don't know.
Like, notice how we make fun of Jerry Seinfeld and think it's weird and gross that he was 38 and dated a 17-year-old? Okay? Because he didn't fucking decapitate his girlfriend at the time. So, like, that is the most prescient part of his story. That is the most impactful part of his story. Okay? Zoomers would be like, wait, I don't understand. Like, why are you... What the fuck? Well, I don't get it. Like, it's just like that's the most important part of this story too, in my opinion. The only good thing about Zoomers being fixated on age difference is that they won't be with old people how it used to be common in the past. No, I agree. I mean, it's not like the worst thing. It's just really funny to like hyper focus on it in this situation. Like, problematic age gap discourse is so funny when talking about Orenthal James, okay? It's awesome.
Know it just yet, but Detective Mark Furman was about to take on a starring role in this unfolding drama.
And now Mark Furman came up to you and told you he'd made...
Unironically, think us Zoomers are obsessed with it because of the prevalence of online grooming? Probably. Problematic age gap Zoomers equivalent to vax for deaths that have nothing to do with the vaccine. Yeah, I think that that is really good. Actually, that is a really good take. I think it's just like a lot of fucking weird, gross losers online who do fucking prey on children. And there's that classic, like, you don't know how old someone is online, so you assume that they're your age until you find out that they're not, and you're like, oh my God, this person is like... I've talked about this before. There's like some accounts on Twitter that I follow that have some good takes, right? And then you find out one day that they're like 22, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
made some discoveries, is that correct?
Yes.
And so that we're clear, it was Mark Furman who allegedly found this glove out there near Kaylin's room. Is that correct? Outside?
Yes.
I'm not even talking about...
And it was...
I'm not even talking about Edgar Mentum, who is also remarkably young. There's another guy who I only found out was like 22 years old because like they were also hyperfixating on age gap discourse, talking about like some dude who was like 30 and a woman who was like 25 or some shit. And I was like, this is so funny.
Mark Furman, who allegedly found this spot on the outside of the Bronco. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then came this unforgettable witness.
I heard a thumping noise.
How many thumps did you hear?
3.
Simpson's shaggy house guest, Kato Kaelin.
Did you ever
Shaggy.
expect what was going to
Damn.
happen when you got up there and took the stand?
No, not
Bro,
at all.
what is that
It was my
haircut?
first time in a courtroom in my entire life. And I think I was 35 at the time.
Kaelin's 4 days on the stand thrust him into the national spotlight.
I even come up with a thing saying, never has a man done so little to be recognized by so many.
Today he testified
He said that OJ's maid never really liked him. Well, sure, she had to work for her room and board. Of course she's not gonna like.
Why was Cato Kalin so memorable?
He's an idiot.
Really?
He's so full of shit. Sorry.
That's pretty harsh.
Matter of fact, when we were doing our deliberations, he was like a no-brainer. The guy's an idiot. And nothing he says we can't go with or against it. He's null and void.
I was called so many things. I was called a celebrity. I was called a pariah. I was called a traitor. I was called a dummy. I was called a freeloader.
So it seems like you feel like you were pretty much misunderstood for a really long time.
100% misunderstood. This was something I took so serious that I was making sure that I answered everything correctly. So I was in deep thought going, okay, answer this right, Cato, and that was it. If you pause, people go, he's making something, he's lying, he's doing this. Furthest thing from the truth. It's for me to become even more honest, for me to make sure I answer this thing 100% honest.
Which brings us to the night of the murder. Kalin and Simpson make a McDonald's run.
About what time was it when you got home?
It's about 9:40.
Kalin goes to his bedroom, and prosecutors say Simpson disappears. A crucial hour passes before Kalin hears a loud noise outside.
And where did that noise seem to be coming from?
From the back of the wall.
That, prosecutors say, is Simpson hitting an exterior wall and dropping a bloody glove. At 10:55, a limo driver waiting to take Simpson to the airport spots a black person, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds.
I saw a figure coming
Could be anybody,
to the
really.
entranceway of the house.
Alan Park says he'd been buzzing the intercom since 10:40 and received no.
Bro, could have been anybody. Okay, it's just like it's just chill.
Response, proving prosecutors say Simpson had not been home.
This time there was an answer, which was Mr. Simpson. He told me that he overslept and he just got out of the shower and he'd be down in a minute.
Both Park and Kalin notice a dark duffel bag near the rear of Simpson's Bentley.
He came out and Cato offered to go get the bag. And he said, no, that's okay, I'll get it.
So what was in the bag? And what did Simpson do with it? Detective Tom Lang has a theory.
So you want to know what happened to the knife and the clothes? And we know that from a witness out at the airport, I believe, saw him getting out of the limousine when he left on American Airlines the night of the murders and had his arm buried in a trash container.
Next, with so much evidence, what went wrong?
That's People 77.
Chris Darden blew it.
No weapons, no witnesses, but a wealth of forensic evidence.
If the glove don't
The
fit, you
team
must acquit,
prosecuting
baby.
OJ Simpson for murder believes they can prove he butchered Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson.
This appeared to me to be an overkill or a rage killing.
There was blood everywhere. At the Bundy crime scene, at Simpson's Rockingham estate, and scattered along the route in between. Blood, prosecutors say, is Simpson's.
Does that mean that these characteristics that Mr. Simpson has that are also found in the Bundy Walk bloodstain are only found in approximately 1 out of 170 million Caucasians or African Americans?
Yes, approximately.
And that's not all. Blood consistent with both victims was found in Simpson's Bronco, on that glove discovered behind his house, and on these socks in his bedroom.
You described that material or that bloodstaining as matching Nicole Brown, is that right?
That's correct.
Then there were the bloody shoe prints in the Bronco and on Nicole's dress. FBI expert William Bodziak says,
How did this happen?
the prints came from Bruno Mali designer shoes in Simpson's size 12.
Can you include him as a candidate who could have worn the shoes that created the impressions in this case?
Yes, I could include him as a candidate for possibly having worn those shoes.
As the trial wears on, attention turns from socks and shoes to gloves. One found at the murder scene, the other behind Simpson's house. Proof, prosecutors believe, that Simpson is a cold-blooded killer.
Handing Mr. Simpson the left glove Rocky handed.
That's people 77.
Yeah, they were just setting him up, dude.
What were you thinking when you heard Prosecutor Christopher Darden request that Simpson try on those gloves?
I was sitting in the courtroom. I couldn't find a seat, so I was kind of in the back. And when he did that, F. Lee Bailey came up to me and he grabbed me, whispered in my ear, he was kind of laughing. Why the hell did you let him do that? I said, I didn't know he was going to do anything. No, Chris is a good man. He's a good prosecutor. He's a bright man. He should have known better.
I remember watching the gloves in the courtroom and thinking to myself, he's not going to ask OJ to put on the glove. That's too much of a risk. You never ask a question in a courtroom.
Yeah, right, dude. No, this is Goon and Tubin at it again.
Much less do a demonstration where you don't know what the outcome is. And it was like a slow motion disaster movie for the prosecution as OJ milked the moment for all it was worth.
No, you're wrong on this one. I mean, it was a risky move regardless, but I don't think he actually thought that it was a risky move at the time. But yes, you are right. You're not supposed to ask a question you don't know the answer to. I'm just saying that Tubin wasn't thinking that. The thing about the other glove is that the detective Furman hopped the gate of Simpson's property without a warrant and found the glove. The defense's theory was that Furman planted the gloves because he was a racist piece of shit. Also, Tubin is literally correct. Having him put on the glove was a huge fucking mistake. I know. My point wasn't about whether or not that was a good fucking move or not. It demonstrably was a bad move. I'm just saying, I think Tubin is simply saying that because he knows.
Pretended to try on those gloves.
Christopher Darden would later admit that move was a mistake.
When it happened in court, did you know you were in trouble?
I knew that it hadn't gone as well as I had hoped it should have gone.
Did you regard it as like earth-shattering to the case?
No, not necessarily, not particularly. It wasn't until I went upstairs and left the courtroom that I realized that people thought that it was a monumental failure, a monumental mistake.
Was it Chris Darden that blew this case?
Chris Darden blew this case. Marcia Clark contributed pretty heavily to blowing the case too, but Chris Darden blew it. When OJ was able to walk in front of the jury and say, it's too small, he didn't have to testify because he had already testified in front of the jury and he wasn't cross-examined. So for us, it was a win-win.
All right, he appears to have pulled the gloves on, counsel.
But to juror David Aldana, it didn't seem like a big deal.
So OJ Simpson was right in front of you when he put on that.
Also wrong. Everyone at the time knew it was a huge mistake. Marcia Clark, the lead prosecutor, tried to dissuade Christopher Darden from doing this with the glove. However, Darden pushed back really heavily, and Marcia Clark gave into his strong arming.
Glove.
He was about maybe 2 feet away from me.
What do you remember from that moment?
You know, a lot of people make a big deal about it, but, you know, I was a truck driver. I wear gloves all the time. I know that when my gloves get wet, they shrink up.
Yes, I do.
After 92 exhausting days of testimony, 58 witnesses, and 488 exhibits,
we ask the court to receive all of the people's exhibits and the people rest.
Next.
The LAPD's laboratory is a cesspool of contamination.
The defense unleashes a blistering attack.
How about that, Mr. Fung?
I think I understand why they saw this as like a trial not against the people versus OJ Simpson, but instead OJ Simpson versus LAPD. given the time frame that this trial was happening, given the time frame in which this trial was happening, plus the fact that their racist misconduct was in full display, it totally makes sense. That's why I think people say like it was a fuck up by the LAPD.
We think the evidence will show that he did not, could not, and would not committed these particular crimes.
Johnny Cochran.
I'm in the new DeFranco. Uh-oh. What's it on? Nowadays, I'm always scared. You know what I mean? It could be like some random fucking meme accounts decided Hasan is a bad guy. Let's talk about it. With Philly D, it could be that, or it could be that like Sup, you beautiful. Hasan Piker versus what? Jesse Waters? Oh,
Sup, you beautiful
what the
bastards.
Fuck? Did he get a screenshot from today's stream? What the hell's going on, bro? It looks like, or maybe not. I think I have. No, it's from, okay.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. You're watching the Philip DeFranco show. I hope you had a fantastic viral. Because he was on a podcast responding to the news that California just raised the minimum wage for fast food workers to $20 an hour. Which, if you're unfamiliar with the move, it applies to limited service restaurant chains with at least 60 locations nationwide. Though, of course, this is unaffected businesses are still probably going to feel pressure to raise their own wages to compete for labor. And all that is the general statewide minimum wage in California is $16. And, with this news, we saw a lot of different reactions. With a lot on the left celebrating the reforms as a victory for workers' rights. With supporters saying it's the least California could do to help people with the rising cost of living, and it should actually do even more. But this is you have a number of people on the right saying, no, employers are now going to have no choice but to either lay off staff and or raise prices or even go out of business. And among those not happy with the move was Jesse Waters, who said that fast food workers simply don't deserve that money. And to try to make his point, he decided, hey, why don't I try to do some math? And if you haven't already seen this clip, let's test it out with you as well. When I tell you that fast food workers are going to be making $20 an hour, how much do you think that is as far as a yearly wage? What is their yearly salary? I'm giving you 3, 2, 1. Here's Jesse Waters' take.
You're very good at math, so see if you can do this in your head. You probably can. If you're making $20 an hour to work at a fast food restaurant, right? Is that 6 figures? Are you making?
No.
What
40 grand. 50 is just 2 exits and add a few zeros.
Yeah. Okay, so
40K a year.
It's Jesse boy a little off. Like in the same way as if a guy said he was rocking 10 inches but only had 4. But then Jesse, he goes, I know how I can save face here. I'm going to jump from an individual worker to a family of fast food workers. And so he took a second swing at math.
Yeah. So, and then if your husband or wife is also there, you're making $100,000 as a family.
Sure.
Both working at McDonald's?
80 grand.
That is, okay, that's crazy.
My man fucked up 40 times 2. Why have we lifted so many unserious people to serious positions? Yeah, even 2 workers making $20 an hour do not approach 6-figure incomes, and that's without mentioning taxes. But for Jesse, him being wrong back to back, that's not the point here. He still says it's still too much.
That is crazy, because that job really doesn't require much.
And so with those moments going viral, unsurprisingly, we saw those on the left skewering him.
Working in fast food is incredibly difficult. It is taxing to your body, to your soul when you're dealing with customers all day long. Looking down at workers, people who want to make an honest living, and demanding that they get paid less for their work is just incredibly gross.
That's insane. What does your job require, you asshole? You don't do anything. You just sit there, sexually harass the staffers, and just read whatever your producers wrote on a teleprompter, you donkey. How much does Jesse Waters make? I'm going to look this up right now. Let's take a look. Let's figure it out. Jesse Waters' salary. $5 million a year.
With all that, especially because so many different people in so many different places, they watch this show. I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts here? And understandably, there's 2 stories. One, what are your thoughts on Jesse Waters just making an ass of himself?
My man wrote HasanAbi.
Trying to do math. But also, 2, what are your thoughts when it comes to the minimum wage? Someone that's lived in California for a while, I'm more familiar with the costs here. So that's going to affect my thoughts on what the minimum wage should be. And so if you're in another state where the cost of living is lower, you might have a different take. But also, if I can add one thing, and it is something that I have a gripe with. The argument, and this is kind of very more focused on like the food services industry or coffee shops or just things that aren't traditional restaurants. I think a lot of employers have the knowledge that they are not paying their employees enough. And I think part of that that is showcased with the fact that how has everything in the last 5 years become a tippable transaction? And I say this as someone that tips every time. But for things as small as like I'm buying a coffee at a coffee shop, there's a turn of the screen at that transaction now. Either reading 15, 20, 25%, or some places 20, 25, 30%. And understand that's been embraced because employers do not want to raise the price of their products and they don't want to pay their people better. But they're still passing off an extra cost to the consumer. It's just that they're doing it in a way that's not technically that, and it's an awkward interaction for a lot of people. It just becomes about optics. They don't want you to see prices that raised 15% so they can, actually pay their employees a more livable wage, but you're still paying it. And then this is one of the wildest bits of
Scroll to the comments. You know you want it. No, he does like he does a roundup, so it's not a lot of those are going to be about the Jesse Waters story. Oh. Anyway, let's get back to OJ Simpson.
On the attack and on the offensive.
The LAPD's laboratory is a cesspool of contamination.
Citing police incompetence.
Some had gloves, some didn't have gloves, picking up the evidence.
Even suggesting a conspiracy to frame OJ Simpson.
The fact that blood mysteriously appears on vital pieces of evidence is devastating evidence of something far more sinister.
Yeah. Such a great dude. Honestly, great way to fucking cast reasonable doubt. Just so good. Like, it's a bit of a fucking Hail Mary to just be like, yeah, no, they planted that shit. But then you got a fucking racist ass cop. You got a racist ass cop and you got him dead to rights. He fucking stole the evidence too. It's just like, it's solid. I hate lawyers. They are the master debate lord. Yes. Especially so close in time frame to the Rodney King stuff that it's just like, it worked so perfectly. It worked so goddamn perfectly that enough people were like, yeah, maybe they did fucking plant that shit.
Then came a turn no one expected.
How about that, Mr. Fung?
Defense lawyer Barry Scheck blasts LAPD criminologist Dennis Fung.
Did you touch that envelope with your bare hands?
Confronting him about not wearing gloves while handling evidence and picking apart inconsistencies in his testimony.
So you did begin evidence collection before the coroner's left?
Yes.
So what you said before wasn't true?
It was the best of my recollection at the time.
What do you remember the most about Fung just getting torn apart by Scheck?
Oh, man.
Does that refresh your recollection? Is that a concern of yours? Sure that?
Barry Scheck is one heck of an attorney. You just ripped them apart.
You truly believe that evidence was planted?
Yes. From this day till the day I die.
Come on, dog.
I think it was planted.
And who does
Come
the
on,
defense
bro.
accuse of planting evidence? Mark Furman, the same detective prosecutors say found the glove outside Simpson's home.
Did you wipe a glove in the Bronco, Detective Furman?
No.
You did not?
No.
Did you ever for a moment believe that the police wanted to frame OJ Simpson?
Frame him? I think that was in Furman's mind.
And you say on your oath that you have not addressed any black person as a nigger or spoken about black people as niggers in the past 10 years, Detective Furman?
That's what I'm saying, sir.
So that anyone who comes to this court and quotes you as using that word in dealing with African Americans would be a liar, would they not, Detective Furman?
Yes, they would.
All of them, correct?
All of them.
I was focused on Mark Furman, his every twitch, his every eye movement, and
Damn, dog. I mean, my dude was popping off with that. He said it too well. Okay? He said it like a man with a lot of practice. I know he was quoting him technically, but goddamn. See? Okay. This is the moral conundrum that every white boy loves having. It's like, in order to free a black man, you have to say the N-word multiple times in court. Do you do it? As a white guy. F. Lee Bailey's like, guys, at the 40-second mark, I drop an N-word, a really big one. But I did it to disarm them. I did it to disarm my interlocutors. Oh my God. Where's the copy pasta? Someone's got to have that meme ready to go, locked up. The deployment of a tactical N-word had to be done. This is why ChatGPT can't replace lawyers. Yeah, they can't do a tactical N-word. In this video, I drop an N-bomb, big one, hard R. I did this to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress me, that their slurs don't frighten or disarm me. You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move which I'm entirely unashamed of, but I understand how that language might have upset some of you. That's what he said. That's what he said. He goofy. He's goofy, bro. Guys, he said it to free one black man from the treacherous chains of the white supremacist American criminal justice moment. Oh, Jesus Christ. As a white person, I've never said the N-word for any reason. I said it once. It was to save a life. But even so, I think about my decision to do so every day. That's him. That's the lawyer. That's the lawyer, bro. That's F. Lee Bailey. That's his alt account. Oh, so good. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's continue.
so forth. I had no notes. I only wanted one thing from him: denial.
No.
Never.
No.
Once he said, never in 10 years have I ever used the N-word, I knew we had him.
When he was asked that question.
That's not what you said in court, Lee Bailey. You said the whole word, Lee Bailey.
By F. Lee Bailey, by using the N-word, everybody in the world knew that he was being set up at him.
What I didn't...
Everybody in the world knew he was being set up by him. Is such a bar. That's so funny. It's like, wow, an LAPD officer lying on the stand, shocking. An LAPD officer saying the N-word, who could have thought, dude? That's crazy. No way, dude. No way. No fucking way.
No, we also had him on tape.
4 months after Bailey versus Furman, the defense gets a tip from an unlikely source. Screenwriter Laura Hart McKinney. She interviewed Mark Furman for a script that she was writing. A very candid conversation, all on tape.
He's just a real racist scum.
Now all we're going to look at is Furman
Bro, you fucking, oh my God, bro did it on tape too. Jesus Christ. I mean, we listened to the tape already. I know he did it on tape, but like, I didn't know he did it on tape to a fucking person who was like interviewing him.
What a scumbag he is.
Furman says the N-word dozens of times, but Judge Ito decides the jury will only hear 2.
Extreme centrism.
The excerpts are brief, yet powerful and disturbing.
F. Lee Bailey was the defense attorney for the Boston Strangler and the guy who greenlit and initiated the My Lai massacre. Dude was not a good judge of character. I mean, he's a perfect defense lawyer. What do you mean?
They don't do anything. They don't initiate contact.
After the excerpt ended, the Furman tapes, you broke down and cried at that moment. Why?
Because I was worried at the ramifications, because I watched them with this look of horror and like disgust, you know, and watched them turn. I was like, that's it.
I do.
He said the N-word so much they did a 40-minute documentary just on the tapes. Oh my God, bro. In 2017. Bro said the N-word on tape more than fucking Nixon, dude. That's crazy. Oh my God. Least racist LAPD officer. Least racist detective at the Los Angeles Police Department. Just got to say that once again. Oh my God. That is crazy. For those that don't know, Mark Furman currently serves as a forensic and crime scenes expert for Fox News Channel. Bro, people be like, cancel culture is so real. Cancel culture is so real. This motherfucker. Come on, man. Come on, man. Mark Fuhrer. Yeah, OJ was taken to civil court outside of LA and he lost hands down. That's why he had to sell all of his memorabilia and he attacked that guy in Vegas and tried to write a book about how he would have committed the murders if he did the murders. The judge said, "Listen, brother, I know we all say it, but you were being a little too quirked up and it's fucking the vibes of the case." What is wrong with our country, dog? I mean, what do you mean? This is yet another perfect representation that like white supremacy is what gets the goods, okay? This is a white supremacist nation. It runs on not Duncan, but white supremacy. What do you mean? It's just peak America. Mark Furman also literally admitted to owning Nazi memorabilia and medallions as prized possessions, not even the Harlan Crow excuse. Yeah, he should have just hit him with the, I look at them and I do this every time. When I put on my SS uniform, okay, I'm always shaking my head so everybody knows I'm disapproving. Oh my God.
That's it. Furman had lied on the stand and used a racial slur. The defense now feels confident they have a racist who planted evidence, a charge Furman denies today and refused to address at the time.
Detective Furman, did you plant or manufacture any evidence in this case?
I assert my Fifth Amendment privilege.
He refused to answer that question on the grounds it might tend to incriminate him. What more does anyone need?
Furman is disgraced and dismissed from the case.
That's not a fair comparison. Civil lawsuits burden to prove is balance of probabilities, over 50% chance, wherein criminal is beyond a reasonable doubt, almost certainty. No, I know. I know. Wait, what do you mean? Bro, listen to me. Reasonable doubt was set here for sure, but that doesn't mean that he actually didn't do that shit. Come on, bro. Like, here, two things can be real at the same time. Mark Führer is a out and about racist. I mean, he was a badge holder at the Los Angeles Police Department. Of course he was a fucking Nazi. Okay? Duh. Also, I don't think he planted the evidence. But that doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. What matters is if the defense could plant the seeds of doubt, which they successfully did. There's a reason that criminal defendants were found not guilty and not innocent. Yeah.
There's no doubt Furman's a liar.
Coming up,
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
the unforgettable closing arguments. Late September 1995. For 9 long months, the trial of the century has been a national obsession.
Stop domestic violence! Break the code of silence!
But a casualty of the constant hype is the freedom of 14 men and women. The jury has been sequestered hundreds of days.
We were told it was going to be about 3 months, and then when the third month came, and then it was 4, and then 5, and it kept going. It just went on and on and on.
No, there are.
Bro, there is no reasonable doubt. No, there's definitely enough reasonable doubt. They did mishandle the evidence, and they were definitely found guilty of racism. What do you mean? 100%. There's definitely enough reasonable doubt, I think, for sure. That's not reasonable doubt? No. Well, the jury did not think that there was, it was undeniable. What would you do if you were a jury? I would have let him go, dude. I would have let him go, I promise. Would you have acquitted OJ Hassel? No. Especially with the top of the hour ad break, I would have hit him with that real quick. Unless he was subscribed, in which case I would let him go. After seeing some of these statements, I see why the jury got the result they did now. Tell Chad to stop looking at this as he got away with it and see it as, wow, the cops and prosecution were so fucking stupid and racist to let this one get away. This is 100% on the prosecution. I think it's on the prosecution and the cops in general. Okay, let me talk about a couple things. Okay, the bar to clear, it is one of the best parts about our legal system. Obviously, I shit on lawyers a lot for being debate perverts, but I also obviously love and appreciate them. Because if you are going to take someone's life away, right, even without capital punishment, I'm talking simply chain them, enslave them, right? Even if you weren't enslaving them, put them behind bars, the bar to clear should be phenomenally high, okay? This is a good part of the criminal justice system. It makes sense. That is why you have to be guilty, found guilty beyond reasonable doubt. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a very good thing. Okay? Straight up. Because if you're going to do this, if you're going to take a person's life away, you should be damn sure that they have done the deed. Okay? That's only the case if you're rich, though. How is that a good thing? No, I'm talking about the principle, man. I understand that in this circumstance, OJ Simpson lucked out, one, by being wealthy and being able to get a fucking all-star defense team, and two, this happened at a time when people weren't so fond overall of the Los Angeles Police Department for obvious fucking reasons. You know what I mean? The defense was almost criminally negligent. The cops were exposed as the racist assholes they always were. Two things can be true at the same time. OJ did that shit. Yeah, no, I do think that OJ did that shit. The criminal justice system in America is completely flawed. There's a lot of issues with the criminal justice system in the United States of America. And then there are certain parts of the constitutional, I guess, rights that you have that I think are good. And I would dare I say better than even other countries that are phenomenally, that have much better living conditions overall. %. One of the things that the principle that you have to be found guilty beyond reasonable doubt is a good thing. You have to be judged by a jury of your peers. Good thing. These are good concepts, for sure. These are good theories that are in practice. Okay? Of course, beyond that, you can still have a crackpot team like this that gets you off on a murder, for sure. America isn't even in the top 20. No, I'm not saying across the board. The American criminal justice system is a white supremacist machine, okay? Come on. You have seen me talk about this for countless hours at this point. You know I don't think the American criminal justice system is good. I'm using my words very carefully. I'm saying that in spite of how racist the American criminal justice system is, there are still certain aspects of it that are literally better than even other countries that have better outcomes in their criminal justice system overall. Okay? Of course I don't believe the American criminal justice system is perfect. That'd be fucking ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing to say. But beyond being found guilty beyond reasonable doubt is a good principle. Okay? It's a good principle. I'd much rather have one rich murderer get away with it than lock up thousands more innocent people, millions more innocent people, which we already do even with these processes in place. You understand? Another good thing is that you have a right to an attorney. It's shocking that you literally, this is not enshrined in the law in many other countries, that you have a right to an attorney. And if you cannot afford one, the court provides you with an attorney. That's a phenomenal thing. Okay? That's awesome. The fact that you have a right to a speedy trial, which is not, applied evenly, and the fact that you have a right to an attorney are good things. These are good concepts. These are good principles, and I'm glad that they exist. Just like being found guilty beyond reasonable doubt is a good thing. Now, of course, in spite of all of those good things within in spite of all of those good things within the American criminal justice system, obviously our outcomes are pretty obvious. The outcomes of the American criminal justice system is that we have basically reinstituted the practice of slavery on almost identical racial boundaries, paired up with the war on poverty, paired up with the war on drugs. The same issues still persist in this country. Having said that, however, I'm not going to discount really important principles that still very much exist and are objectively good.
Back in court, OJ Simpson cites the jurors' fatigue as one reason he's not going to testify.
I'm mindful of the mood and the stamina of this jury. I have confidence, a lot more it seems than Ms. Clark has, of their integrity, and that they will find, as the record stands now, that I did not, could not, and would not have committed this crime.
4 days later, the end is finally in sight.
You have heard all the evidence.
No more witnesses, no more delays, just closing arguments. First up, lead prosecutor Marcia Clark.
And let me come back to Mark Furman for a minute, just so it's clear. Did he lie when he testified here in this courtroom, saying that he did not use racial epithets in the last 10 years? Yes. Is he a racist? Yes. But the fact that Mark Furman is a racist and lied about it on the witness stand does not mean that we haven't proven.
So cooked. Just so unimaginably cooked.
The defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
How in this country?
Then comes defense attorney Barry Scheck.
There's no doubt Furman's a liar and a genocidal racist. There's no doubt about that.
Genocidal
There's
racist.
really no doubt either. That
Yo, that's my.
there.
Dude, I love defense attorneys. They're fucking awesome, dude. They really are. They're fucking heroes in many instances. Maybe not this one because they were doing it for a bad dude who definitely did do it, but god damn. God damn, dude. You want one of those motherfuckers in your corner if you've done some shit. Or even if you haven't done some shit, really. So good.
And if that can happen, that's a reasonable doubt for this case. Period. End of sentence. End of case.
Finishing for the defense, Johnny Cochran, with probably the most memorable quote of the trial.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
You have not used that word.
After 9 months of testimony,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hundreds of exhibits, more than 260 days isolated in a hotel, jurors are finally sent to determine OJ Simpson's fate.
Thanks for joining us on a day that many of you probably thought would never arrive.
And everybody had an opinion.
I think it's going to be a conviction.
I would say probably hung jury.
I believe absolutely there's sufficient evidence to acquit.
Why were you so confident he was going to be found guilty?
I just couldn't possibly grasp the notion that with all of the overwhelming amount of evidence against him, that they could possibly find him anything other than guilty.
Doors open.
By the time jury deliberations begin,
You don't go back in time.
the tension surrounding the trial is transparent, and a clear racial division emerges.
This idea of race was something that the defense wanted.
I don't get how there's reasonable doubt, though. He was wearing another pair of gloves and they could have just not fit well in the first place. Like, I don't get how there's reasonable doubt in the case when all the forensic evidence pointed to him being the murderer. Like, the one glove didn't fit, but all the other evidence was very clear. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the point is that they hit it from every fucking angle, and they very clearly showed that the detective on the case was a fucking racist. And that they presented a narrative that is objectively true, that the LAPD is riddled to the brim with fucking white supremacists who may or may not have actually tampered with evidence to make it seem like OJ was responsible for this gruesome murder. I don't think there are that many people in this community that don't believe OJ didn't do it. I do believe that OJ did it. But the point is not whether OJ did it or not. The point is, in the eyes of the jury, did OJ definitely do it beyond reasonable doubt? No, they thought that there was enough people that thought that OJ's, the evidence might have been planted by this fucking racist charlatan.
Out there. They wanted that in the dialogue because it benefited them.
2/3 of Americans think OJ is guilty. 77% of whites think he's guilty. 72% of blacks think he's innocent.
Based upon the way this case was going, along racial lines by the end of the case, that if you had a videotape confession and even videotape of the murder, you'd have people say, I don't believe that tape was doctored. That's how bad it got.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro.
Despite rampant speculation outside the courtroom, there are only 12 opinions that really matter.
We walked into that room. Well, let's see, what do you want to do first? Well, let's just see where everybody stands. We went around the room, guilty, not guilty.
It's 2 votes guilty, 10 not guilty.
Now, you guys had been sequestered for 9 months. You were tired. You hadn't seen your families, your kids, your friends. You wanted to get out of there. Were the majority of you working hard to get those 2 to come on board?
Actually, no. It wasn't arguing or yelling or anything like that. We just took another vote, and the other 2 came on board, and they said not guilty. And it wasn't because they thought that he was innocent. It was because the prosecution just didn't prove it.
Aldana still believes the police framed OJ.
How is it that with all this evidence against OJ that he's set free?
Some of that stuff was planted. And when some of it was planted, what was and what wasn't?
How did Mark Fuhrman play a part in your decision when it came down to the verdict?
Quite a bit, because everything that he...
You're right. The question is not did he plant the evidence. It is it reasonable this guy planted it? Thank you, Biomart, for the law tip. It's such a glaringly obvious instance of white supremacist foundations ending up causing a miscarriage of justice, in my opinion. Well, technically, if you are a believer that he did it, which I am. Like, there was no, the victims don't get to, in this circumstance at least, the victims don't get to see a person be punished for their crimes.
Had anything to do with it, pretty much got thrown out. I knew he was dirty. After a while, you get a sense of people.
Do you truly believe that the police, the detectives, the criminologists were as incompetent as the defense had made them out to be?
Yeah, I think so.
Coming up.
All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury?
The dramatic verdict revealed. And a country divided. After a marathon trial, millions of people hold their breath, waiting for the verdict to come.
How long do you think they're going to debate?
I would be very surprised if they came back in less than 2 weeks.
I think at least 10 days, probably.
You just never know. People always say, what do you think is going to happen? Nobody knows.
Another development now in the OJ Simpson trial. The jurors are being brought back into the courtroom.
But no one expected this.
After 8 months of trial, it took the 12 jurors just 4 hours to reach a unanimous conclusion.
We couldn't believe it, that it was so fast.
It took longer to read the jury instructions than their verdict.
All right.
Simpson's fate decided, but not revealed.
We are missing, as you can tell, several of the attorneys, and I've indicated to them that I will accept the verdicts from you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Judge Ito decides to hold the verdict until the next morning. The world would have to wait one more day.
Stunned and shocked may be underestimates as far as reactions go.
October 3rd, 1995. The sun rises, and everyone, everywhere, is waiting and watching.
We were at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. We're standing in the suite, the television's on. Looked out, no one was in the street. In Beverly Hills, no one was on Rodeo Drive.
I heard that there was no crime for like 2 hours because everybody was too busy watching, waiting for the verdict.
People around the world stop what they're doing. The final moment in the trial of the century will be broadcast live.
All right, Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury?
In the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code
They
section.
read it and we heard that, and then I just fell apart.
Fred and Kim Goldman are devastated.
It was as if your insides got yanked out of you. Everything that we knew to be certain, that he had killed Ron and Nicole, suddenly as if, oh, wait a minute, how's that possible?
And then our side was in shock, and then you hear the cheers and the you know, jubilee going on the other side.
Not guilty of
That division became what was seen across the TVs for several days. It was blacks cheering and whites crying.
Was that verdict about murder, or was it about race?
The verdict was undeniably about race.
Not guilty.
The people saw what they wanted to see. And it's interesting how it was divided, in this case, right along racial lines.
I'll never forget.
Is it interesting? Is it? You have an undeniably racist police force that everyone recognizes, at least every black person recognizes, is undeniably racist. Is it all that crazy for them to think? I don't think so.
When it was over, a woman came over to me and said the verdict was like being punched in the stomach. And I said, you don't know any of the people. Why was it like being punched in the stomach? She said, it was as if this was my brother and sister. Everybody was involved and everybody took sides.
Everyone had an opinion. And now?
How do you feel 20 years later? Did he do it?
My opinion still is, I think he is guilty. That hasn't changed.
I found him innocent, and I believe he's innocent.
With all your heart.
All my heart.
What's the one thing you can't get out of your mind 20 years later from that trial?
Well, that's easy for me.
What's that?
Son of a bitch got away with it. Simple as that.
As for Simpson, he returns to his home in Brentwood. But the Goldman and Brown families don't give up. They sue Simpson for wrongful death in civil court. Cameras are not allowed this time, but OJ Simpson's deposition tapes are later revealed to the world. ABC's 2020 played excerpts from the tapes. Goldman family attorney Daniel Petrocelli questions OJ Simpson. Watch as he explains the bruising on Nicole's face.
You see those bruises on her face?
No.
You don't see anything?
No. I mean, I see this, I think.
You don't think this picture reflects any bruising or injuries or marks on Nicole's face?
No, I don't.
What do you think this reflects?
I think it reflects doing a movie that we're doing, and we're doing makeup.
And what about the shoes that left bloody footprints at the crime scene?
I know if Bruno Magli makes shoes that look like the shoes they had in court that's involved in this case, I would have never worn those ugly-ass shoes.
Simpson again denies wearing the Bruno Magli shoes. But Petrocelli does something the prosecutors in the criminal trial never could. He proves OJ Simpson owned the very same pair of shoes.
And that is a picture of you looking at Exhibit 1, correct?
It appears to me, yes.
Looking at the close-up of the shoes, do you believe that those were shoes that you owned at that time?
No.
The victims' families win the civil case and are awarded millions of dollars. But OJ Simpson still leaves court a free man. Until 2007.
Simpson back in jail, accused of rounding up a middle-aged posse and sticking someone up in a Vegas hotel room at a low-rent casino.
OJ Simpson was on trial again for armed robbery and kidnapping in Nevada. But this time, a different verdict.
The state of Nevada plaintiff versus Orenthal James Simpson, defendant. We, the jury in the above entitled case, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, guilty.
Exactly 13 years to the day after he was acquitted in the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, OJ Simpson is found guilty on all charges.
White people still found a way, dude. You see that? White people still found a way, bro.
He's sent.
Devious. Dr. Yakub, I rue the day that you invented white people.
To 33 years in prison. At his age, it's possible he'll spend the rest of his life behind bars. But in the eyes of LAPD detective Tom Lang, it's for the wrong crime.
Does OJ Simpson deserve to rot in jail?
Not for what he's there for now. That's almost laughable. But yeah, he deserves to be in jail for murder. For slaughtering two people. They're not giving a damn one way or the other.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Bronco? No, they restore ones from the 80s and 90s. Very famously, they restore them from the 80s and 90s with, like, obviously a completely new engine and new everything. And they sell them as, like, luxury vehicles, basically. It's awesome. I restore Broncos. They're farm trucks that people want to look like show cars. You should get one and go full LA fuckboy. OG Broncos are the worst season notoriously, so they refabbed that part along with the suspension. Yeah, I had a Bronco for one day. We bought it from some like secondhand, possibly a criminal Polish person, and it broke in one day. It broke in one fucking day. It was the shadiest motherfucking thing, bro. I swear to God. It's not even Polish slander. This is New Jersey. Just say Polish. No. It was like, it definitely, I mean, it was super cheap. And it definitely felt like, well, it was definitely a crime the way they sold that thing to us. But luckily they took it back. Even car guys get to eat in this community, and you relegate Linux guys to the slums of the chat? Because I use Linux on my Steam Deck, and that shit sucks. Honestly, I'm sorry. Like a 35-minute YouTube video to do like the most basic shit. You refuse to learn? Yes, brother. I don't need to fucking learn, okay? I'm sorry. It's crazy. Anything I need to do on the Steam Deck side, Digha, thank you for the 10 tier I give the subs. Anything I need to do on the Steam Deck that is on like the actual PC side of it literally requires a 35-minute YouTube tutorial. It's so fucking annoying. It's not intuitive at all. I'm sorry. I love the Linux Andes. I get it. It's great. It's the most socialist operating software. Oh my God. True boomer mentality revealed. First of all, one, I am a boomer. And two, Linux is definitely more boomer coded than any other fucking OSs out there. What are you talking about? Steam Deck isn't even a real desktop OS version of Linux. Yeah, that's like the most like user-friendly version of that too, and it's still hard. Darn. That was no seriously. We laugh now, but that literally, this is pre 9/11. This is the 90s, bro. You could fucking bring a gun on the plane. Imagine a world where you just walk onto the plane with no checks whatsoever. Not even fucking, I don't even think they even, back, maybe in the 90s they might have had this, but I don't think they had metal detectors even. Show up and they're like, okay, what do we hate more, a black guy or women? And that's where the whole I'm not black, I'm OJ conversation kicks in. You know what I mean? That's why I've been saying this from the jump. It's just like, dude, any other circumstance, I feel like they probably, as much as they love domestic abuse, this is around the time when that famous 40% study came out, by the way, self-reported, where they asked thousands of cops if they do domestic abuse, and 40% of them voluntarily said they did. Very quickly, they were like, we should never allow a study like this to ever be conducted ever again. There was reasonable doubt, but do you believe he could plant tamper with the crime scene? I'm sure. But do I believe he could have done that? Absolutely. Do I still believe that it is infinitely more likely that OJ Simpson did a very bad job of covering up his tracks overall? Yeah, that thing. If I was weighing it, if I was weighing both of those odds, I would go along with, yeah, no, he definitely did it. Bro, come on. It's not just the gloves that were a major role here. There were so many other pieces of evidence. Like, that's crazy. If the Mark Furman interview was is on one Phillips cassette tape, he would have said 0.44 slurs a minute. The point is, it makes sense, especially given the time frame of when this super public trial was happening, that there was enough reasonable doubt Oh, God. I love defense attorneys. Attorney, we put up photos of black people in OJ's house so we looked family friendly. In the People versus OJ Simpson, American cop story, defense lawyer Johnny Cochran is shown pulling a switch just before the jury visits the football star's mansion. He personally supervised the removal of photos that show Simpson and his white friends and the redecoration of the home with African art and photos of the former pro footballer with other African Americans. In this scene, Cochran hung a painting by Norman Rockwell, which became an icon of the civil rights movement, over Simpson's fireplace. Oh, that's so... Dude, they're so awesome. This is the photo that he put up on OJ's house. Just they're such fucking scumbags, dude. But sometimes you really need a fucking scumbag to go up against the criminal justice system. You know what I mean? They're awesome. I love defense attorneys. All right, let's continue. No, I heard the killer died actually recently from cancer. They were suspicious. They were saying that he might have. They were saying he might have died to cancer. The killer at the age of 76.
What is bumming me out, Ryan?
I know.
This is a very depressing.
Racist, bro. They're bummed out that a black man gets to roam free, dude. You see that? It's so funny that none of this is evidence. Like, absolutely 0% of this is evidence so far. Absolutely 0% of this. Virtually every single... I mean, it could be evidence that he is abusive to his current girlfriends, right? It's evidence that he was abusive to the other... the other fucking Hasan OJ truther. OJ covered it up for him. Okay, dude. Circumstantial. Especially when there's physical evidence that ties OJ to the fucking scene of the crime. It's ridiculous. The bar is way fucking lower to indict his son. Maybe they put him in the Hall of Fame because they were like, oh yeah, not only are we fucking locking up OJ, we're going to pack up another black man, his son. That's why they were like, yeah, this guy's awesome. This guy's dope. He wants to arrest every black person. One reason why we felt it was OJ's son, because when he approached the Bronco, when they arrived after the chase, OJ's friend was driving, punched his son in the face and started pointing and yelling at him. I'm sure you can find the footage. Why would his son indiscriminately go and attack OJ's ex-wife, chat? Like, even then, the circumstantial evidence doesn't have... Like, OJ has a motive. Anger issues doesn't mean you fucking... I said he was off his meds. Dude, you are so... Okay. Being off your anger medications is... Why are you indiscriminately defending the racist police? Because I'm racist. That's why, as you guys know. Like, it just doesn't make sense for him to, like, seek out his stepmom, his ex-stepmom. And You have to remember that he was apparently unhinged at the idea of his ex being with coke dealer and party boy Ron Goldman. He was seeking her out because she was making his dad's life hell. No, that's bullshit.
In 2014.
Chat's so addicted to arguing with you, they're seriously defending OJ Simpson. That's really wild. I mean, is it really that wild? Not as wild as the fact that they get hit with a top of the hour ad break at the top of every hour, and that probably is part of the reason why they fucking want to defend. They want to fucking argue on every issue over and over again till the goddamn cows come home. You know what I mean? Yeah, all the physical evidence is OJ's, man. Is crazy. Percentage of Americans who believe OJ murdered Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman was 66 in 1994, 83% in 2014. Yeah. We just got more races as time went along, I guess. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Certainly, there are a lot of implications. It's nuanced, very nuanced.
I feel dirty.
Yeah, for the record, I didn't know that the Goldman family actually authorized this. And because I guess they couldn't change the name or something. Like OJ Simpson titled it "If I Did It," which is insane. But then they authorized the cover, right? So they made the "if" tiny on purpose to be like, "I did it." Which, by the way, they ended up getting money from. So, you know. I'm partial to the second OJ theory. Wait, what? Patrick Bet David, will OJ rest in peace? Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't wait to hear what fucking Patrick Bet David has to say about this.
Like
oh,
yes. Shower.
This murder produced the funniest quote of all time. Oh, yeah. This is pretty funny. OJ Simpson says he avoids Los Angeles because he feels he may be sitting next to whoever did it. I worked at a bookstore when the original book came out, but it got held and we couldn't sell them because of the lawsuit, and it was eventually shipped back to the publisher.
I think it's a different
Crazy
game with
breaking news. You were right.
Was I right? What?
OJ Simpson dead.
No way.
I
What?
just
said it to Pat.
Yep. Wow. 5 minutes ago. OJ Simpson dead at 76.
OJ.
Why is it both loud and not loud at the same time? It's so
For
strange.
murder, someone killed him and a girlfriend?
OJ Simpson.
He was out of prison, right?
Don't joke.
Oh, yeah. He was long
Don't
ways
joke
out.
about a murderer.
Well, we don't-
Now we're sympathetic.
No, go to OJ Simpson's
Don't joke
Twitter
about
account.
cause of death until we
What?
find out
Go
what's
to
up.
OJ Simpson's Twitter account right there. Just a few minutes ago, 12 minutes ago.
Put that out there, but whoever put that out there, I guess is like the Donald say, can't trust the media. In any event, I'm hosting a ton of friends for the Super Bowl here in Las Vegas. All is well. You know, so hey,
But
guys,
one thing you got to give him
take
credit
care.
for.
Have a good Super Bowl.
Oh, Patrick Bet David, he will always find a way to give him credit.
He's got the Bill Clinton syndrome.
Which one?
I did not have any relations with that.
Or if it
He
doesn't
can
fit,
look
it
at
must
you in
have
the
quit.
camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like the craziest thing of the entire thing, which guys, everybody knows what happened. This guy, the audacity to write a book after the murders, and the book was called "I Didn't Do It, but if I did, this is how I would have done it."
But do you know what he's been doing for the last handful of years?
Jeez.
He's been out there lurking.
Oh,
searching,
no.
For what?
looking
For victims?
for the killers.
How do you process
of
this?
Nicole Brown
On a serious
Smith
note, how
and
do you-
Ron Goldman?
How do you process this?
I'm
Like,
just, can I?
Meaning
guys,
what?
I'm just shooting my shot right now.
Well, meaning he
is a double murderer.
Yep.
He was acquitted because if the glove don't fit, he must.
Well, because there's a Mark Furman was a racist that was on the he's the luckiest murderer.
Is there anything more watered down word these days?
Wait,
than
no,
racist?
Mark Furman was a racist. He was big time, and he did.
Bro, there ain't no way the other guy is trying to say Mark Furman wasn't racist. And that racism, the word is so watered down. Hey, yo, dude. He must not know. Because that's crazy.
The luckiest murderer.
Is there anything more watered down word these days?
Wait,
than
no,
racist?
Is there anything more watered down than the word racist these days? That's so awesome. Dude, this is why I love valuetainment, okay? This is why I love valuetainment. I am fucking valuetained. He's talking about a dude with like Nazi memorabilia who is the world record holder for most N-words said in one fucking tape.
Mark Furman was a racist. He was big time, and he did plant. Yeah. He didn't need to. The facts were going to be there, but the fact that this guy was on that case, ruined. What?
I love that you're focused on Mark Furman. That's great.
No,
that's
Adam,
cool.
I'm agree.
He had the most amazing legal team ever put together. It was a super team.
Okay.
Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian. Didn't he have Alan Dershowitz as well? Didn't he have Robert Shapiro?
Yeah.
Dude, this guy spent millions of dollars on lawyers.
Yeah.
He got off.
He didn't spend it. They didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
He got off. I think everybody knows.
He did.
He killed those two
I didn't.
people.
Hold on. I did not
So
say
here
that he
we
didn't.
are.
I didn't say he didn't. But look at the circumstances besides the team.
Bro, I love racist people so much. Like, yeah, clip it, ship it if you want. But they're so funny to me, dude. They're like, racist people are so funny. They always have to defend racism on principle. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you mean? He doesn't even need to know what level of racism someone's on. They got to. It's just like on principle, dog. The word is watered down. You know, who knows what it looked like in his heart, you know? It's like, why? What is this? I don't watch stream as much. I mostly watch your content on YouTube after the fact, but I just want to thank you for all the good you bring into the world. Your vocal haters don't get it, but your fans genuinely appreciate the work and spend our time trying to make a difference based on the example you set. Thank you, King. Let's go, dude. That's an awesome first message. I'm just saying, I love these guys. The way that they operate is so fucking funny to me. Okay? The way that this man operates is so fucking funny. Like, he's like, no, on principle, I stand with this motherfucker. Okay? Oh, racism is so bullshit. It's like, bro, you're hurting your own cause. If your goal is to make it seem like liberals are out of control with the designation of racism, you probably shouldn't point to the one guy that even in the 90s, everyone objectively understood was an out and about white supremacist. Like, we're not talking 2024 where you did a microaggression, okay? And on college campuses, like a bunch of freshmen decided that this microaggression deemed you worthy of the white supremacist sticker. We're talking about a dude who was a competitive racist in the fucking 90s. Other racists were like, yeah, dog, I can't hold a candle to Mark Furman's racism, to be fair. Yeah, it brings up David Duke. Racism is overused. Yeah. It's crazy.
He did.
He killed those two
I didn't. Hold on. I did not
So
say
here
that he
we
didn't.
are.
I didn't say he didn't. But look at the circumstances besides the team. You have a known racist detective taking the glove, which already has blood on it, and moving it.
The prosecutor at the end of the trial, as we saw, thank you for reminding me, Bertonic, openly was like, is Mark Furman a racist? Yes. Think about that. 1994. Okay? 1994. You got a motherfucking prosecutor who's like, I'm sorry. I know. I apologize for how fucking unimaginably racist this cop is. And this guy still went the distance. Love him.
You just messed up a crime scene and you made him now the luckiest murderer on the planet. And then he's putting on the gloves. And it's like, bro, just because you got on a tight glove doesn't mean you can't kill anybody. I could kill Tom right now with some tight gloves.
I'd love to see it.
I know, I love Tom. But what I'm saying
I'm
saying is in a climate where the country was, we were in a bad, it was LA riots. Wasn't it the LA riots?
1995. What year was it?
95. Great. Yeah, great. By the way, if they said, even if they know he was guilty, innocent, if they were like, no, he's guilty, put him in jail, you know what the country would have gone into? He was the luckiest
I don't know,
time.
maybe BLM riots.
Well, pretty close. But
maybe we've seen it.
He murdered two people.
Penny, there were two trials. He was 1-1. He lost the civil case.
Yeah, of course,
the civil case.
But my
the Goldman family.
My point
on the same evidence presented to a different jury in the civil
How does that
case.
work?
So my point is, he murdered two people at the luckiest time.
I love this crew so much. I love this crew so much. They all chirp like a bunch of like 16-year-old TikTokers, but they're all like 45 plus, 50-year-old divorced dads wearing the tightest shirts and vests that you've ever done seen. And they always yell over one another. It's so fucking goated. This show is amazing.
OJ, rest in peace.
I don't know about that. If you believe in heaven and
Say,
hell,
will OJ rest in peace? I want to hear Sage's
I don't think the word peace should ever be in the same sentence with OJ Simpson, even if he's no longer walking this earth. My first thoughts went to the Brown family, and then Ronald Goldman, the Goldman and the Brown families, and like what must they be thinking right now? I don't even think there's peace with them, right? Even the guy that killed them allegedly, right?
Yeah.
Guy that killed them is now gone. Do they have peace? No, they never have. So I don't think there's any.
That's crazy, bro. 2 white people still mad about this shit. White people need to move the fuck on. 2 white folks got killed. Big fucking deal. That's an insane take, dude. You're an insane person. Okay? You're such a big badass, dude. Bloomer Schumers. You're a big badass. I mean, who's riding for Emmett? Bro, what are you saying? Do you think there's like a leaderboard of how many innocent white people versus how many innocent black people get killed? And it's like, yeah, only when we arrive at like we'll have a consensus. Bro didn't even write his name right. Like, he said Emmett Till. They act like OJ murdered their Lord and Savior. What do you mean their Lord and Savior? He murdered innocent people. What the fuck do you mean? He also abused the shit out of his ex-wife before he murdered her. This has nothing to do with race, man. There's no weird equilibrium to arrive at. What the fuck? How is he wrong? You yourself always say how the dead white women are always getting in the news. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's okay. I'm not going to fucking sit around and be like, yeah, dude. Yes, dead white women make the news more frequently than dead black women. This does not mean that I'm in support of white women being murdered. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? That doesn't mean that it's a good thing. We really have some fucking insane chatters, I swear to God. People just say shit, honestly. They just say shit. I don't know if you guys know this, but let me reaffirm my longly held belief, okay? Murder is bad. Murder is wrong. Murderers are bad, okay?
Anyway, and even if you're his family, if you're OJ's family, I'm glad everybody was there, I guess. But like, no matter what, and especially think about the way he handled his business over the last several years. And remember the robbery in Las Vegas,
he was there with
and
them
the guns
too.
and the rings selling.
Yeah.
He was there, so I don't know that the
You
word
think
peace
he was guilty
exists.
of the double murder in '95?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But like, it's not, does our opinion matter? Unfortunately, more important opinions don't even matter.
And
with
I
this.
and I think it comes down to, that was a great question, Pat. I think it's, he will rest in peace because we didn't see it, we had no idea. If he did, Sage, if he genuinely prayed to God, because we're not stupid, and he asked for forgiveness and was genuine in his heart for doing it, he'll be okay. If not, I mean, if you believe in the Bible and you're a Christian and you're just walking around
if
a
he asked
murderer,
for forgiveness.
Bro, this guy's so awesome. Come on. How do you just give someone whiplash? Oh God, I love real Christians, dude. This is the reason I take breaks from this fucking community. Those absolutely fucking insane, annoying, unhinged dipshits. I swear to fucking God. Whatever, dude. It's an anonymous fucking account online chirping into the wind in normal circumstances. You have to understand, like, I pull it just so you know what my position is on issues. But like, you have to remember. What was that? What was that? Taking the toes off the bed, huh? Oh, someone wants to get off, huh? Is that what is going on here? Look at this. Okay. I didn't say no. Oh my God. Oh my God. I did not say you could get off the bed. That's crazy. That's crazy. She knows. Come on. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. I should not be rewarding her. I should not be rewarding her for manipulating me. She knows how to do this. She knows how to do this shit so well. Stop spoiling her for hell's sake. I agree. It's hard, man. It's hard. I shouldn't be rewarding her. Okay, place. Okay, go drink your water and then place. She probably needs to drink water.
Forgiveness and
if he asked, and if he was in his heart said, listen, to God, because that's the main conversation. Who cares about the cameras? Who cares about anybody else?
Right.
If he had a moment with God and asked Jesus Christ, please, I messed up. I'm a killer and I'm a sinner. Forgive me. He's going to be okay.
Can I ask why you force your dog to stay in one spot the whole day? Isn't that boring for the dog? Brother, I don't know if you know this, but I fucking beat her ass for like 2 hours before I start the stream. So she sleeps the whole day. Okay? I don't know if you've noticed that, but she's sleeping the entire day. I work her out nonstop. All right. Anyway, we're moving on from the OJ stuff. This was a lot of fun.